Happy New Year. We are excited to celebrate just like all of you. And luckily, markets wanted to celebrate today too. We opened up after a pretty rough day yesterday. And we are hoping that we still can pull off a Santa Claus rally. Remember, there are still, after today's session, two more sessions in the beginning of the new year. And those 7 sessions will determine whether or not we got a Santa Claus rally. I am not someone who thinks I can predict the future. I will never say I can predict the future. When I'm right, it's just because I analyze historical data well and use an evidence-based approach to come to a conclusion. But nonetheless, I am in the prediction business. So we're going to do some predictions for 2025. And we're also going to talk about the state of the market. And it was really the year of the mega cap in some ways. And we're going to talk about why, despite a lot of bubble spotters saying that the mega caps are overvalued and in a bubble, they're actually they're just better at returning to shareholders than their peers. And that's why capital flocks to them. It's not really rocket science, actually. What they do is as complicated as rocket science. And the miraculous thing about the stock market is that we get to participate in the gains of the most talented individuals in the world and the most talented commercial entities in the world. And the stock market allows us to do that. And because it allows us to do that and participation is up, it shouldn't really be that big of a surprise that a lot of people want to own the best. Of course, you want to own the best if you're putting your capital to work. We have had a bit of a hard 5-day period, as you can see. Energy was the only sector that's slightly up. Everything else was slightly down. And December has been lackluster. There's no two ways about it. We can't tell you that it hasn't been. But we still may get that Santa Claus period because despite the drawdown yesterday, we had a very strong December 24th. You can see that despite the 5-day period, look at the 1 year. I mean, we are doing very well this year. The market's on track to deliver returns well above 20% at the index level, which is pretty extraordinary. And that's for the second year in a row. So we've had a very good year. And, I think we can have another very good year because we don't have a lot of negative catalysts on the horizon so far. There always can be something that can emerge. But right now, it's looking very good. The economy's looking strong. The consumer's looking strong. Earnings are looking strong. And those are the 3 fundamental pillars that I like to pay attention to. The Fed, yes, they delivered some bad news and they might not be cutting as much as we hoped. But ultimately, that's due to their faith in a strong economy. Like I said, it's been the year of the mega cap, and you can see here, this is the Magnificent Seven versus smaller cap tech. 2024 has really shown this outperformance, and it has been concentrated in a few companies. But one of the things you should remember about these big tech companies is that they're constantly absorbing smaller companies. So in a way, they're all multiple companies, if you think about it that way. So there's constantly new blood being injected in to provide new opportunities for free cash flow growth. When I talk about these big tech companies mastering the game, this is a great chart. This is return on assets plotted against return on invested capital, 2 of the most important fundamental measures there is. And you can see amongst the mega cap names, NVIDIA's gains were prolific this year, and they were triple digits, and everybody can say it's a bubble. But look at their fundamental outperformance compared to peers. I mean, this is not a company that is really disappointing on fundamental metrics. And frankly, one of the things I think we can count on in 2025 is elevated volatility, despite the fact that I think it'll be a good year. In elections, when the challenger wins, volatility is elevated, and that is what happened this year. Furthermore, Donald Trump's political style, I think, lends itself to elevated volatility in many situations because unpredictability is really a part of his political style. And that unpredictability and volatility are kind of synonyms, or at least one causes the other. So with that, I want to just get into my 4 predictions for 2024. I don't think the artificial intelligence boom is over. It's going to continue to be at the forefront of the investing public's consciousness, and growth rates will continue to impress throughout much of the year. Secondly, the market's elevated valuations will continue to get more elevated. It's important to remember that the bull markets tend to set new records of excess. And we definitely are in a bull market, but skepticism still abounds. You still have a lot of people saying we're on the edge of a depression and that we're in a bubble and it's all speculative. That's actually a good thing, in my opinion. That means that we haven't advanced to the ebullient phase of the bull market where irrationality kind of takes hold and FOMO starts to become more important than rationality. Like I was talking a little bit about, volatility is going to be a recurring theme. Um, the political style and the threats of using tariffs, that could cause a lot of volatility. If tariffs or a trade war do come to pass, that could cause even more volatility and could actually reverse a bull market. So that's something we'll be keeping a close eye on and analyzing. But our fourth prediction is this. While it's a low probability outcome that a trade war materializes, we predict that the uncertainty surrounding policy, like items like tariffs and a potential trade war, will ultimately break toward the incentives for global economic cooperation rather than the desire for destructive economic confrontation. You know, Donald Trump is a negotiator. His book was called The Art of the Deal. And I think it's likely that a lot of these tariffs and a lot of these threats are frankly just bluster in order to get a better position for the United States. I hope you all have a safe and happy New Year celebration. We're going to have an interesting start to the year. We don't have a lot of economic data or anything, so a lot of it's going to be macro and sentiment driven. We'll see if we get to Santa Claus rally. I'm still holding out hope that we do. So thank you for being subscribers to Punk Rock Traders, and have a happy and safe New Year.